Most cars don't die of old age, they get killed by dumb habits. The average vehicle lifespan in the US is just 160,545 miles, according to Junk Car Medics data. That means most cars tap out way before their true potential, all because of preventable mistakes. I've seen engines blown just from jumping in and driving cold, or $900 EVAP systems ruined because someone wanted to top it off after the gas pump clicked. The crazy part? Every one of these habits is stupid easy to avoid. I've been under hoods for over a decade, and my own car? Still pushing past 700,000 miles. No rebuilds. No snake oil. Just smart habits most drivers ignore. If you want your car to really last, without bleeding your wallet dry, you're in the right place. This video might literally save you thousands in repairs and years off your car's life expectancy. Stick around, and I'll show you 17 things that'll keep your engine alive way past the graveyard. And hey, if you're into real, no fluff car advice that actually works, hit that subscribe button. You'll thank yourself next time your check engine light starts blinking. Habit number 17. Stop riding the gas on hills. Had a guy bring in an SUV last week, said it was shifting weird. His transmission was cooked. Burnt fluid, overheated converter, and internal were all from riding the gas too hard up every hill. That kind of driving creates non-stop stress, pressure, and insane heat, especially in automatics. The torque builds, but there's no relief, just drag, friction, and eventual fail. I've seen climbing like that cause heat soak so bad it melts seals. Instead of hammering it on every incline or slope, let the car breathe. Ease off, use momentum, or let it coast when possible. Otherwise, you're abusing the gear and creating resistance that silently kills your drivetrain. That behavior alone can burn out a car faster than people think. And if you thought hills were hard on your transmission, wait till you hear what cold starts can do. Habit number 16. Avoid short shifts after cold start. Had a guy who'd start his car, shift fast, and go 30 days later, spun a bearing. Why? On a cold start, your oil hasn't built pressure yet. That startup drag causes brutal wear as metal meets metal with no lubrication. The engine needs time for flow to reach every component, lifters, crank, piston, and timing system. Shifting too soon spikes resistance, stresses internal parts, and leads to a dry start. Just idle 10 to 15 seconds, let the hydraulic film build, then drive gently. That small delay protects against long-term damage and startup stress. It's a simple habit that saves your motor. You rush it, you wreck it. Habit number 15. Replace cabin air filter regularly. Pulled a cabin filter from a Corolla last week, looked like a rat's nest. Dust, pollen, mold, and even dead bugs were choking the filter media. That kind of clog kills your HVAC blower motor fast. When airflow gets blocked, your fan works harder, overheating and losing efficiency. Poor circulation messes up heating, cooling, and throws off ventilation. I've seen cabin temps spike just from one dirty filter. Worst part? Drivers don't notice till the odor, moisture, or weird fan speed kicks in. Replacing it takes 5 minutes and saves the whole system from resistance damage. Want fresh air and better cabin quality? Stop waiting and check yours now. Habit number 14. Inspect trunk and door drain holes. Had a customer wonder why their backseat carpet was soaked. Turns out the drain holes in their trunk were blocked with debris, and water was pooling under the carpet for weeks. That trapped moisture caused mildew, staining, and even corroded the wiring, leading to an electrical short in the taillights. I've seen rust eat right through the floor when a plug or grommet fails to drain properly. These channels run behind body panels, and one hidden blockage can cause serious rot. Want to prevent that mess? Pop the trunk, inspect each door, check the weather strip, and clear any soak or drip spots before they get worse. A 2-minute inspection can save your cabin, seal, and sanity. Habit number 13. Retorque lug nuts after tire jobs. Guy came in last week with a nasty vibration at highway speeds. Thought it was an alignment issue, turned out the shop never retorqued his lug nuts. 2 were finger loose, 1 stud was stripped, and the rotor was already starting to crack. When you let someone blast your wheels with an impact gun and skip the torque wrench, you risk over-tighten, cross-thread, or even total failure. I've seen wheels come off on the road because no one checked tension after a tire job. Want to avoid that? Always recheck torque with proper specs and pattern after driving 50 to 100 miles. It's a simple procedure, and your brake, hub, and safety depend on it. Habit number 12. Don't park with wheels turned. Saw a Camry come in last month with a nasty creak and steering pull. The cause? Dude always parked with the wheels turned, loading his steering rack, tie rods, and bushings with constant stress and tension. That resting angle puts uneven pressure on the suspension and mounts, and over time, it causes premature wear, strain, and even binding in the joint. I've seen hydraulic systems leak and power steering fail just from this one lazy habit. Want to avoid that? When you stop, straighten the wheels, reduces load, torque, and protects your alignment from creeping off. It's low effort, high impact maintenance. Now, this next one's something I see all the time, and it's surprisingly destructive. Habit number 11. Avoid revving before shutoff. Had a guy who loved to give it one last rev before shutoff, said it cleared the engine. What it really did was flood the chamber with excess fuel, leaving unburned residue that stripped the oil film off the cylinder walls. On the next startup, that dry crank caused real wear, you could hear it. I've seen plugs fouled, injectors clogged, and carbon buildup trash the combustion cycle. That quick throttle blip? It jacks up pressure, pushes fuel past valves, and wrecks your piston rings over time. Want to save your fuel system and spark life? Just let it idle a few seconds, then key off, no drama, no damage. Quick pause, if you're learning something new here, hit that subscribe button. I drop real-world car tips that actually save you money, not dealership fluff. Alright, back to it. Habit number 10. Check engine ground straps. Had a Civic towed in no start, lights flickered, random misfire codes. Took me 10 minutes to find it, rotted ground strap on the engine block. That little connection is your whole electrical system's foundation. When it's loose or covered in corrosion, you get intermittent power, bad voltage, failed sensor readings, and even ECU glitches. I've seen a bad strap mimic a dead battery, cause starter cranking problems, and blow a fuse during a surge. Check your cable, clean the mount, verify continuity, and tighten it to the chassis. It's a cheap fix that solves major diagnostic headaches. Don't wait for a short to ruin your day. Habit number 9. Install an oil catch can, GDI engines. Had a turbo GDI in last month, rough idle, poor performance, misfire codes. Pulled the intake and the valves were caked with carbon buildup. No surprise, it had no catch can. With direct injection, there's no fuel washing the intake, so all that blow-by oil and residue from the PCV system just sticks and hardens. Over time, it kills airflow, ruins efficiency, and leads to nasty combustion deposit issues. A simple install of a separator between the crankcase and vacuum line keeps the gunk out. Just mount it, connect the hose, and plug it in line. Catch the crap before it reaches your engine, your injector, throttle, and fuel system will thank you. Habit number 8. Replace or clean PCV valve. Customer came in with blue smoke, rough idle, and oil leaks all over the gasket. I pulled the PCV valve, and sure enough, it was clogged solid. When the crankcase can't vent properly, pressure builds up, forcing oil past seals and turning the inside of your engine into a sludge factory. That little part controls blow-by, contamination, and buildup. When it's stuck, the flow stops, and things go south fast. I always say, check it during regular maintenance. If it's cheap, just replace it. If not, at least clean the hose and valve. Your ventilation and vacuum systems depend on it, and ignoring it leads to emissions issues, foul plugs, or full-on failure. Habit number 7. Grease suspension joint. Had an older Tacoma roll-in with a nasty squeak over every bump. The ball joints and control arms were dry as bone, no grease, no lubrication, just metal grinding metal. That's what happens when people skip this basic maintenance. Your suspension parts, bushings, pivot points, zerks, all of it need proper service to prevent crack, noise, and early wear. Lack of grease causes the rubber to split, boots to fail, and throws off your alignment, handling, and overall stability on the road. I always say, hit your undercarriage with a grease gun every few oil changes. Protect the fittings, stop the corrosion, and give your chassis room to flex and move without a fight. Habit number 6. Reset fuel trims monthly. Guy brought in his Accord complaining about terrible economy and rough idle after installing a cold air intake. Turns out his ECU never had a chance to relearn the new airflow. The fuel trims, both short-term and long-term, were way off. Your car constantly adjusts mixture using O2 sensor, MAF, and throttle feedback, but over time, it learns bad habits from sensor drift or mods. A quick reset using a scan tool clears old adaptation data and lets the car tune itself properly again. I recommend resetting once a month or anytime you do a mod, clean sensors, or notice poor performance. It's like giving your injection system a clean slate, improving combustion, behavior, and economy fast. Habit number 5. Don't top off after pump clicks. A guy topped off his fuel tank after the pump clicked, wanted a little extra. 2 weeks later? Check engine light. I found his charcoal canister soaked with raw gas, sensor fried, and the EVAP system overloaded. That extra squeeze floods the filler neck, overflow line, and even the vent hoses. The nozzle shuts off for a reason, it's sensing pressure and vapor, not telling you to donate more gas. I've seen valves, purge solenoids, and even hoses wrecked from repeated overfill. Want to avoid a $900 repair and emissions code? When the pump clicks, walk away. Every extra drop messes with your emissions system, especially the canister and gas cap seal. We've talked fuel, now let's talk parking. And no, your e-brake isn't optional. Habit number 4. Use parking brake every time. Had a guy park on a hill without using his e-brake. Next morning, his car rolled 6 feet and slammed into a tree. The pawl inside his transmission sheared clean off. See, when you shift into park and don't use the parking brake, all the weight rests on a tiny pin called the parking gear. That little component isn't built to hold your whole car on a slope, especially downhill. Over time, it takes serious stress, leads to damage, and eventually failure. I don't care if it's a manual or automatic, make it a habit, engage the brake first, then shift into park. Every time. Uphill or flat, protect the mechanism before it costs you thousands. Habit number 3. Change transmission fluid regularly. Guy brought me a slipping Accord, 90,000 miles, never serviced the transmission. Fluid looked fine but was loaded with shavings, varnish, and burnt debris. That hidden mess tore up his clutch packs and gears. He needed a full rebuild, $4,200. Most people think if it's not leaking, don't touch it, but that's how ATF quietly breaks down. Heat, wear, and metal bits grind through the system. Don't wait for symptoms. Drain and fill every 60k miles, or what your OEM recommends. Skip the flush if it's been neglected, flushing stirs up sludge and can cause failure. A simple maintenance interval and filter check can save your torque converter, prevent overheating, and avoid the "I should have done this earlier" regret. Habit number 2. Stop idling to warm up. Had a guy who'd let his truck idle in the driveway every cold morning for 15 minutes. Thought he was warming it up. What he was really doing? Fuel dilution. The unburned fuel from a cold start seeps down the cylinder walls, thinning the oil, killing lubrication, and turning that nice synthetic into sludge. I've seen pistons scored, injectors fouled, and early engine wear just from this outdated habit. Want real protection? Let the car run 30 seconds, then start driving gently. Motion raises temperature way faster than sitting, improves efficiency, and avoids contaminate buildup. Your startup is when most damage happens. Don't sit, protect by moving. Habit number 1. Stick to 3K of 5K oil change intervals. Pulled the valve cover off a customer's Civic caked in thick black sludge. Why? He followed the dealer's manual that said 10K intervals with synthetic. Big mistake. In real-world traffic, short trips, and cold mornings, that oil breaks down way faster. I've seen pistons scorched, cams scored, and passages completely clogged from trying to stretch it. You skip your filter, run dirty viscosity, and you're begging for a rebuild. Forget the warranty schedule, go 3K for non-synthetic, 5K for full synthetic. That one habit alone adds years to your engine's lifespan. Trust me, $40 now beats $4,000 later. Final thought. So yeah, most people don't realize they're slowly killing their car until it's too late. But now, you know better. These 17 habits are exactly how I got mine past 700,000 miles, no rebuilds, no blown engines, no wallet-draining repairs. It's not about being a mechanic, it's about doing the little things consistently that most people skip. And the best part? Every one of these tips costs way less than the repairs they prevent. If even one of these habits helped you today, do me a favor, drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you the most. And if you want your car to last longer, run smoother, and stay out of the shop, hit that subscribe button. I've got more real-world car advice coming that you won't hear from a dealership. Thanks for watching, and take care of that engine.